kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. The war against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Khorinis. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Khorinis was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day. Another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well. I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you?
Keep silent. Right. Send him in.
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram. Get up.
Hello, and welcome to my next playthrough. That being Gothic, which is a quite old PC game. Like early 2000s? Was it even 2000s? I think it's the early 2000s. I'm actually not sure. Well, old enough that that I have to install a virtual Windows XP machine on my computer so I can play this. Oh, I had issues with that. So many issues. And no doubt this is going to have a lot of crashes and the like. So hey, hope you're here for me for that, because we are going straight into this game. Let's go, and new game. As it loads, it's going to play the same cutscene again. I'm just going to skip right past and meet our first person.
I'm not interested in who you are. You've just arrived. I look after the new arrivals. That's all for now. If you plan to stay alive for a while, you should talk to me. But of course, I won't keep you from choosing your own destruction. Well, what do you think?
Man, I love Diego. I have a lot of love for this game, and especially its sequel, which I really love. Well, I have a lot of nostalgia for. Though, if you're playing this game or planning to play it as well, here's a recommendation. assuming you know German, play this game with a German VA. Because, holy crap, it's very good. It's an original German game, so it makes sense. But I highly recommend you do so. Still, the English VA is alright. Let's listen to some more of it. Okay, what do I need to know about this place?
Okay, what do I need to know about this place?
We call it the colony. You'll know already that we produce ore for the king. Well, at least we do, in the old camp. There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest, and it was the first.
Alright, how do I get to the old camp?
How do I get to the old camp?
You just follow this path. The old camp is the next reasonably safe-looking place you'll come across. There are a lot of wild beasts between the camps. You'd be mad to walk around without a weapon.
And where do I get a weapon?
Where do I get a weapon?
When you get to the old mine, have a look around. I'm sure you'll find something useful. The mine is easy to find. It's just a few meters along the canyon.
Oh, and we will find it, trust me. We'll get there. Why did you help me?
Why did you help me?
Because you needed help. Otherwise, Bullet and his boys might have killed you. And I couldn't just stand by and watch. Because I came all this way to make a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Yes. After this little incident with Bullet and his guys, you should be aware now that you need protection. Everyone who arrives here has a choice. There are 3 camps in the colony, and you'll have to join one of them. I'm here to show the new ones that the old camp is the best place for them.
Well, that's an option. We will be going through all 3 options in this game. Well, of the 3 camps, which one we should join. And you'll hear my decision when we get there. For now, where's Bullet now?
Where's Bullet now?
He and the others bring the goods from the outside world into the camp. You'll find him there. But if you plan to fight him, be careful. He's an experienced warrior.
Okay. Hey, I have a letter for the High Magician of the Circle of Fire.
I have a letter for the High Magician of the Circle of Fire.
Really?
I was given it by a mage shortly before they threw me in here.
You're lucky I can't afford to show my face around the mages anymore. Anyone else would gladly slit your throat for that letter. That's because the mages pay their couriers a lot, and most people here don't have anything. If I were you, I'd shut up until I met one of the mages. Although in your situation, that's not likely to happen.
Why not?
The mages are in the castle in the old camp. Only Gomez's people are allowed to enter the castle.
Who the fuck is Gomez?
Who's Gomez?
Gomez is the most powerful ore baron. He's the boss of the old camp, the most powerful man in the colony.
Let's assume I want to join his people. What do I need to do?
Let's assume I want to join his people. What do I need to do?
At the gate of the castle, you'll find a man called Thoris. Tell him Diego sent you.
Thanks for your help.
We'll meet in the old camp.
And there we are, Chapter 1. Welcome to the colony. I need to think whether I'll keep reading this, because I did not remember my character reading all the, saying all the text. Well, you pick. Anyway, as for the game, controls are very different. Move with the arrow keys. As you can see, it's kind of a bit jank. But more importantly, over here we have some items, like for example this torch. So, how do you pick up an item? There might be some obvious decisions. Enter, no. Space, no. E, no. F, no. Well, what does do it? Control, arrow key forward. You pick up stuff up with control, arrow key forward. As you can imagine, that will take some time to get used to. There's also a few issues. You might see a few, cases of lag, mainly because I'm playing this on a virtual machine, but also this game is has a weird optimization thing of using CPU. Anyway, If you actually get too far here, you might notice you're glowing blue. You do not want to keep glowing blue, because that means you're leaving the barrier. The magic barrier everybody talked about at the beginning of the game. And that barrier is going to murder you if you try to leave it. There is an option here in the settings, I believe graphics, sky effects. If you turn it on, I believe, yeah, you can see the blue everywhere. That is the freaking, what's it called? The barrier. I'm going to try to keep it on, but it might lag me out, in which case I'm going to turn it off. For now, yeah, ever-present sign that we are indeed imprisoned. When that's done, let's go. There's also some other options, like Alt will make you jump, like this, and other things. Tab brings out an inventory sorted for various things, like this spear. We have L, which is our log. We currently only have one mission, which is to get that mist into the old camp. We also have S, or status, which shows us our stats. We are level 0. Trust me, you're going to feel like a 0. This game's combat system, which I'm going to get to soon, is really weird. For example, pressing space makes me go into combat mode. Currently only have fist. Control forward makes me punch. And I can go and punch this meat bug for 10 XP. That is very little, but at this point of the game, you need every XP point you can get. You kind of want to level up as much as possible, as you do in any game, but especially this early on. So there's a few other things here. For example, there's some blueberries here that you can use those for healing right here. Then there's this tumbler, which will let you pick locks, and our first chest. This one is unlocked, so you can just kind of rob it. Gets us some beer, some coins, some arrows, another torch, and a picklock. Picklocks, well, are used to pick locks. Duh. There's some more berries and stuff here. And most importantly, our first weapon, which is a pickaxe. So I go all the way to the weapons, press Control forward, and now I have a pickaxe. But let me also show you the, well, thing that comes up on the bottom. Damage 7, required strength 5, two-handed weapon. That essentially tells you all you need to know about this weapon. This is the one way I can attack. I'm spamming forward as quickly as possible, so you can see how much staggering there is. And I can also do left or right, which does similar. Thankfully, left-right you can kind of combo one side to the other. Sometimes. Like that. Oh well. We are going to need a better weapon, and soon. 7 is terrible even for us. But here's our first enemy. A mole rat. Here's the tactic for fighting. Get in their face and hit them as soon as possible before they can hit you. And you're going to be fine. As with our objects, control forward makes you go into, well, them. And then control right makes me pick things up. And here's our second weapon, our rusty sword. All the way to the left. It's a free damage upgrade, so of course we're going to take it. Did I? Oh yeah. I pressed caps lock, which made me go into walking mode. There's a few things here and there as well that you can pick up, or I will pick up. And now there's a bit of an area up here that isn't universally known of. Over here you can climb, which is quite simple. There's a chest here you can again open for some more items. I'd like to believe everyone who gets here knows about this area, who plays the game. It's quite simple to, well, not miss. Is there anything here? No. But the area that's easily missed right here is here. You can climb up here, go again up here, once again up here, pick up this plant, and hire again. And now you're on this plateau up here with a bunch of enemies. First off, we're going to kill this thing, a scavenger, a bird thing, bird dinosaur thing. Thankfully, they decided to just strafe and not, well, fight back. There's also a few other things, a scavenger over there, a goblin up there, and some more pig guys here. Well, mole rats. I'm going to kill them as well because obviously I like XP. Fighting two enemies is normally a lot more difficult than fighting one because they can easily combo you. Thankfully, these guys did not decide to do that. I can just pick up their stuff, pick up the items here, including a potion, which is this early very valuable. Sadly, you cannot, or at least I don't remember you being able to, hotkey potions. So each time we are actually injured, we're going to have to go into the inventory, go all the way to potions and drink it. As you can imagine, you cannot do that in combat. So healing is more or less strictly for out of combat. Still, we want to farm as much XP as possible. So we're of course going to kill this scavenger as well. Come on. Its meat is actually especially valuable. So it's all meat this early on. And then this goblin. I'm going to save first and foremost. And yes, that is a naked lady on the save screen, censored by the save bar. And now we're going to fight the goblin, who can actually be a bit of an issue, because he hits harder, has more HP, and he can move a lot. Thankfully, it seems he is not being too aggressive. Nice, 6 XP. He doesn't have anything on him though. Now comes the second issue of this game. Thankfully, not that big of an issue right here. But getting down from ledges. You are liable to kill yourself trying to do so, because there is no real command for you to just kind of climb down or similar. So I recommend going down here. And then you can go like this, which will drop you more or less safely. Okay, good. And now that we've done all of this, we can, well, keep going. Yeah, you can really see by some of these animations just how old the game is. Let's just keep going forward. Here we'll get to another clearing. Would I believe a few more enemies? Yeah, there's a few more scavengers up there. I'll pick some more things up. If you went upstairs, you'll get your first weapon here, which is also an old sword. Oh, that's an old sword, not a rusty sword. So actually, better. So let's just beat this guy up. 1, 2, and 3. Thankfully, we can take him out in 3 shots. This game's meta, so to say, is a lot about getting as much damage as possible and killing things in one shot instead of multiple. We'll explore that later, but for now, just know that high damage equal very good. Very good. Let's keep going forward. Another scavenger here. Kill it here. Oh, damn. Actually got me. Nice. Got it back. Killed it quickly. And here we are. The render distance is a bit shitty, but we can see Old Town just behind here. And next to it we also see the river. The thing that kills FPS the most in this game. So, if you see me suddenly stopping a lot and not walking, that's because the game is taking its time. I believe we're close to level up. Yeah, 360. About 4 more scavengers. The first few levels are especially important. I'm going to focus on getting those quick. I'm also going to show some get-rich-quick schemes, so to say. Because there are some ways to get rich quite quick. For now, let's just pick everything up. We have 2 more new people right over here. Ratford and Drax.
Hey, you.
What do you want?
I want to warn you. If you continue this way, you'll be entering our hunting ground.
What do you hunt?
Mostly scavengers. There's a lot of meat on them. Besides, it ain't too hard to get them. Once you know how.
Really? How's that?
Ask my friend Drax here. He knows more about these things than anyone.
Interesting. I think we'll do that, but first...
Why is this area so dangerous?
You've just arrived, haven't you? There are different areas in this colony which are all more or less dangerous. The paths between the camps are quite safe, but even there you might come across some wolves which look on you as easy prey. And that's exactly what you are until you get a proper weapon and armor.
Okay, tell me more.
Where can I get better equipment?
The nearest place is that old camp. Just follow the path that brought you here. But you can get the stuff cheaper in our new camp, provided you know the right people. If you go to the old camp, ask for Mordrag. He's one of us. For just a little ore, he'll sell you the proper goods.
Interesting.
Tell me more about the areas of the colony.
If you travel between the camps, you'll need a map to distinguish paths and dead ends. Dead ends often lead you to dangerous canyons where you encounter creatures you'd better avoid. Do not enter the old ruins. There are too many around here, and most of them are old fortifications dating back to the time of the First Orc War. Some are abandoned orc dwellings. There are often orcs in those ruins, or even worse creatures. I'd avoid those places, especially at night. And
He's
one more
very
thing,
much right.
don't go into the forest.
There are some very powerful creatures in the forests and in the ruins, so early on you will want to keep close to the path.
Where do I get a map?
Ask the people in the old camp. There's a cartographer living there. Maybe you can steal one of his maps. If you manage to do it, take one from me as well.
Why doesn't he sell the maps?
Why? Doesn't he sell the maps?
If you get enough ore to pay for them.
Thanks for your help.
Don't go thinking everyone's gonna be so friendly, kid. There may not be much in a newcomer's pockets, but some folks would even beat you up for a pickaxe.
I'll keep it in mind.
Very true. You can kill or beat up anyone you want in this game and take all their stuff. NPCs can do the same to you though. So watch yourself.
You're hunting, aren't you?
Looks like it. What do you want?
Do you have some hints for the hunt?
I could teach you a few things, but everything has its price.
Which would be how much?
A good gulp of beer will do to start with. Then we'll see.
Sure, we found one of those on the way.
Here you are. Take a beer and tell me about hunting.
Scavengers. That's what we call the big birds. Should be attacked one after the other. It's easy to lure single scavengers from the pack. If you come too close, they'll become irritated. After a while, they'll storm in your direction. At this point, you should be waiting for them with a raised weapon. If you manage to strike the beast before it hits you, you have to keep fighting. Then you'll be able to defeat the creature without being hurt yourself. If it hits you first, well, just don't let him.
That's actually good advice for this game. Hitting something first is kind of important.
What else can you tell me about hunting?
A lot, but it'll cost you more than a beer. If you know how, you can take the creature's teeth, claws, and skin. It's hard to get them, but they are valuable. At least every merchant will trade those things with you.
Yeah, he's right. This is one of the few teachers in the game that can actually teach you how to, well, do all of these things. And each of these costs one skill point. We don't have a level yet, so we have none. And we have no money, so I'm not going to do that. But he's not a bad option for you to use for your first level up. Because you can quickly start getting money that way. I'm not going to use my first level up, learning these things. Probably will use my second one though. Because the first level up for me will be straight into strength. Which you'll see what that exactly means. But for now, let's actually just get to the next level. Oh man, these guards killed one of the scavengers. There goes some of my XP. And no, seriously. Every enemy killed by an NPC that you at least didn't hit is 1 point of XP that you're never going to get. Let's also lure these guys here. Easy way to beat scavengers is simply stand here till they yell at you. Then they're going to get charged to you. Ah, shit. Whoop! See you in a moment. Wow. I messed that up very badly. Super dangerous game here. Especially this early. Okay, let's try this again. So, over here, what I wanted to show was... Oh, it's that again. That you can... Well, if we just rush at this guy, the other guy in the back there will join him. So we want to kind of inch close enough for this guy to start aggroing on us. Like this. And then back off, and then start fighting him. This is actually a proper scavenger, not a juvenile one, which actually ended up kicking our ass again. Actual scavengers, again, have more HP and deal a bit more damage, so kind of makes sense. But it's still embarrassing that I died to it twice. So let's just try this a third time, because this thing should be soloable. Trust me. Shouldn't be as big of an issue as I'm currently having with it. Come on. Okay. Now just gotta get it into a good... There we go. 50 XP. Barely anything more. But gods give us one more meat. Let's eat some of these Seraphis to recover HP. And now we can probably take the other one out as well, right? No way is it going to kill us too. Let's just spam. We did it and we leveled up. Level ups give two things. For one, your max HP increases a bit. For two, you now get skill points, which you can use to, well, level up your stats. The next level costs double though, from 500 to 1500, so that makes it a bit more difficult to level up again. There's a camp, we'll be getting there in a moment. Before that, I'll do one more thing. Save again, pick up some items. And over here we have some mole rats. You know what, let's not actually... I'll do that in a moment. For now, let's just pick this up and go into the old camp.
Where do you think you're going?
To the camp.
You ain't come to make trouble, have you?
Well, saying that is really dumb because they will beat you up if you, well, talk shit.
Diego says I'm to meet him in the camp.
Okay, in you go then.
But if you're nice, these guys will be nice in turn. Almost of them. So, here's the old camp. And, just to show it off, right over here is Diego. With that being said, I think we saw a fair bit of content today. So, let's call it here. Next time, we're going to explore the old camp, get somewhat rich, and move on with the game. See you all then.